Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm going to be as quick as possible with this, but you could say this is like a little mini vlog, but it is a TF Nation related video. And don't worry, Tony, I haven't forgot. I sort of forgot. I've remembered. I will be doing your answers video or uh, yeah, my answers to your TF Nation questions. I will do it probably this weekend. Anyway, I digress. This is quite mind blowing, really. 10 years. This year marks the 10th anniversary of TF Nation. TF Nation first started back in 2016, and it is so hard to believe that 10 years have passed since TF Nation started for the very first time. After kind of like moving on since from auto assembly days. Many of you know my journey. If people that have been paying attention to my videos and anything that I do in relation to TF Nation, I have mentioned this many times. But I've been going to Birmingham for a Transformers convention since 2010, back when auto assembly was about 2010. That is mad. But yeah, I've been going since 2010, and within that time, it without if I never went to these events, I honestly don't know where I would be today. I don't think I'd be quite the same person that I am now through going to these events. TF Nation and both Auto Assembly, both events have helped me immensely to become a better person, to understand myself, and to be comfortable within my own skin, to really, how can I put this? To really kind of express myself when it comes to my interests and hobbies. Because I never had that with other people that I knew. School friends, besides Sam and Tony, well, Tony, I met him later. Obviously, 2010 was the first time I ever met Tony, really. But Sam is the only childhood school friend that got it and understood it about he was the only close friend really through school days and everything that got it and had similar interests to myself. My family and so on, close family and friends and so on, other people never really fully grasped my interests and hobbies. And I honestly feel that when I made that decision to go to the 2010 Auto Assembly, I didn't quite realise it would probably be the best decision I would ever make. Because not just myself, but Sam as well, because it's helped both of us as well. And when I was younger, so post 2010, I was a different person. I was a totally different person that I am now. I was very shy. I was full on introvert. I was full on introvert. I was very much more like a closet case, if that makes sense. I was very much. I would go to school, I would come home, or go to college, and I would come home, and the only people I would potentially socialise with were really family and one or two friends that I had at school, and that was it. But I found it very difficult to open up and to talk to other people, make new friendships. I found that really daunting and very difficult to do. I had really bad social anxiety when I was younger. When I went to 2010 Auto Assembly, I was incredibly excited, but very, 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 like, I was hyper to the point. What I mean by hyper is I was really hyper aware and very, very insecure at the same time of being excited of what I have just booked and done, because it was the very first ever time going out of Hull. Yes, it was the very first time of going out of where I live in Hull and going on my own with a close friend of mine from my school days and going to a convention. It was the very first ever convention back in 2010 ever, and it was my first exposure to the collecting world. And for me personally, going to the Holiday Inn, when we got to the Holiday Inn, the first two people we met was Jared and Johnny the Dwarf Porn Star, as in Jared Wolfgang 1. And they were the first two people that I was very, very nervous. We walked through the into the hotel, the Holiday Inn in New Street, Birmingham. We walked into the hotel lobby to go to registration, to get the room sorted, and they were the first two people that saw us and recognised us both, and we just had a really great little funny conversation right there, and that sort of kind of helped me calm down and helped me immensely to kind of process it a bit more once I was there. And then obviously we sorted the room, dropped our bags off, and we went to the bar. And I have spoken about this before, but I can only describe this as hitting an invisible brick wall. My anxiety just skyrocketed in that moment, and I've never seen so many people that I recognised off a small computer monitor in one room, in one space in my life. And it was so otherworldly to me personally. And but there was some great individuals that was there, that was a part of it that year, back in 2010, that are, I will happily say, are among my closest friends even to this day. Yes, some of them don't come to the events as much as they used to, but we are still friends. And whenever they do come to an event, we always catch up, and we always have a chat and that. And even though I don't see majority of the people for a good maybe almost, it's like an annual gathering for me, because even though I went to TFN Manchester back in March this year, but I'm not always able to do more than one TFNation event per year. I always go to the main one, but obviously, so yeah, so I digress again. But yeah, so yeah, um, that first year was incredible. Also, Gary Chalk and Scott McNeil were there as guests, and it was just incredible. And then, sadly, I carried on going to Auto Assembly right up until 2015, which was the very final one. And then everybody was absolutely heartbroken that it had ended, and TF Nation was announced, and it has just been going on ever since. Still in Birmingham, but now at the now it is held at the um, Hilton Metropole Hotel near the NEC, and I have been absolutely astounded. Even to this day, every single year, they astound me with how much they've managed to accomplish within that 10-year timescale that the event's been going. The, the, the team, I've spoken about the team many times. I am not associated in the running of the events. I just make videos and help to try and promote or try and get the word of mouth out there for when an event's coming up, and do guest announcements and update information videos. That is what I do. That's it. But when it comes to TF Nation as an event, it's, for me, it's not just a convention. I would quite happily go travel every year to Birmingham to that hotel just to meet everybody, even if there is no convention on. I would quite happily travel at my own expense and spend 4 days or 3 or 4 days with those people, even though there's no convention, there's no event on, there's no get voice actors, there's nothing, there's no toys. I would quite happily spend a good 3 or 4 days with those people each and every year, even if there was not an event on. However, there is an event, obviously, TF Nation, there's toys, obviously, that is definitely the case, but you get my point, what I'm trying to make there. I would quite happily, it's, for me, it's the friendships and it's the people that make the event for me, personally. The toys are just a bonus. And TF Nation as an event, that the team behind the scenes are an incredibly proficient team of individuals that are have some incredible expertise between them when it comes to marketing, when it comes to IT, when it comes to everything, law and legislation and everything like that. When it comes to copyright and rights and things like that, when it comes to music or comes to some very small minor little things, but yet everything is just tightly wound up in a very incredible parcel that I'm just astounded of what they do as a team and what they've accomplished. And especially this year, TF Nation 2026 is no exception. The fact that they managed to get Vince DiCola, they managed to get Scott Brownlee. Is it Scott Brownlee? The engineer that came up with Soundwave's iconic voice. And they've managed to get some incredible voice acting talent over that time period, as well as some incredible artists that they've introduced to the convention and brought to the UK for the first time. It is just an incredible celebration of, yes, Transformers, giant robots, but it's an incredible celebration of everything. It's a safe place. It's a safe place. It's a friendly environment. It's a safe environment. Everybody can be themselves and they don't have to be confined to what society says they have to be and how they have to act and so on and so forth. And they can just simply be themselves. And you see that coming out of every single person that is in that building. You see everybody beaming, everybody having a good time, having drinking and or what have you, playing games like Cards Against Humanity or whatever else, in the bar, and people playing with toys that they've just bought from the dealer room. It is just an incredible environment to be. And I say to people that are still yet considering on ever going to a TF Nation event, please go. Please try it at least once. Because I think it could be the best decision you ever made in your life. Because you could try, quite like me, somebody that really found it difficult to socialize and to make that leap into introducing myself to somebody that I've never met before. Somebody that was very much an introvert. And I have managed to work on myself over these years, and I have managed to become a better person as a result of going to these events. And I have been able to make some incredible friendships that I'm very, very happy to have met some incredible people over that time period since 2010 right through till now, and over the 10 years of TF Nation being a thing. I am just absolutely. Yeah, I just want to just end this without going around in circles, but thank you, TF Nation. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you for all the time that you spend on this. You sacrifice so much within your own life, your social time, to bring us these events. And it's not just one event, it's 3 events a year, as well as an official gathering that's in Glasgow in Scotland. There is like 4 events on per year. One of them is just a meet-up, not a convention. It's just a meet-up, which is the gathering. But yet there's There's TFN Manchester, and then there's now TFN Swindon and TFNation 2026 in Birmingham. So they put on 3 events now per year. And it just astounds me of how they managed to bring these events to us, what they've accomplished, what they've done in that time frame is just incredible. You should be very proud of yourselves, TF Nation crew. You should be incredibly proud of yourselves. Give yourselves a big tap on the back, a big round of applause, and take a bow because you guys are incredible. And here's to another 10 years and beyond for TF Nation. Let's keep it going. This is a very, very special event. It is literally, there is nothing quite like TF Nation. No other convention out there is quite like TF Nation. TF Nation is incredibly unique. It's a very unique in the way that it comes over. That it's not like an MCM Comic Con where everything is very commercial or very business sense, very money hungry. Autographs cost God knows how much, and you have to pay for a photo op. You have to pay for this. A lot of other conventions are just cash grabs, in my opinion, especially like your Comic Cons. And when it comes to TF Nation, it is not like that. It is not a cash grab at all. It is a very honest. The team are very honest about what they do. They actually do feedback surveys, and they do like after every event, they always do a sit down with the team so you can voice your concerns and questions to them in person. And I've never seen any other convention ever do that. And that just says everything about this event and the people that run it. And I will continue to go to this event right until my dying day, or right up until the point where I can never do it again. This is just an incredible environment. TF Nation is an incredible environment. It's safe, it's friendly, it's just a great place to be. And again, I thank you, TF Nation. I just thank you so much to the team, TFN team, for everything that you do for us and everything that everything that you've accomplished. Stan Bush 1 year, now Vince DiCola. It is just incredible what you've managed to do. So thank you, TF Nation. I'm going to go now. Bye bye. And I shall see you in July/August for TF Nation 2026. Bye bye.